The Russian occupation forces continue to try to regain control of Andriivka and Klishchiyivka and attack with small assault groups. Currently, Ukrainian troops have already established themselves outside these settlements and are repelling all attacks by Russian troops. This footage came from the Bakhmut sector from the 80th Separate Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Oleksiy Tarasenko, battalion commander of the 5th Separate Assault Brigade, said that as soon as Russian troops lose a position or an entire village, they immediately receive an order to recapture the lost positions. Such assaults have been taking place since the liberation of Andriivka and Klishchiyivka. However, Ukrainian units have already advanced beyond these villages. Therefore, we can say that there is no threat of reoccupation of these villages, even partially. Russian troops in the Bakhmut sector continue to maintain an advantage in cannon and rocket artillery, as well as in the amount of ammunition. The Ukrainian Armed Forces are improving their tactical position, continuing to advance in areas where they have managed to win the initiative and advance. In this direction, the Ukrainian military successfully repelled attacks by Russian troops near the settlements of Frontline, Klishchiyivka, and Andriivka in Donetsk region. The invaders have certain problems in their defense line, which runs directly from Bakhmut to Holyuka. This gap was organized by the armed forces of Ukraine, and it greatly complicates the Russian defense line. The invaders are making a lot of effort to take certain steps. For example, they are throwing in reserves to plug holes, as well as bringing in a large number of assets and using a lot of ammunition. Everything that is happening on this section is very different from the situation on other contact lines. It is in this direction that all types and branches of troops and weapons are used, ranging from tactical and operational techniques of the 19th century to the 21st. However, the enemy still has an advantage in the number of personnel, i.e. in mobilization potential. In addition, according to the Institute of War Studies, militants of the Russian terrorist group Wagner have returned to the Bakhmut area, but they have serious problems. Ukrainian and Russian confirmations of the deployment of some former Wagner members in the Bakhmut area indicate that Wagner is having difficulty organizing a coherent reform around the new leadership. The Ukrainian military reported that the leadership of the terrorist group has changed after the death of their former leader, Yevhen Prigozhin.
Блять, ускаливается на прицеле. Вы гундоны ускаливаются нахуй? Пидорасы нахуй.
Now the militants are returning to Ukraine, but as part of the Russian Defense Ministry's troops to compensate for the invaders' losses. Although there is no exact information on the status of the relocated personnel, British intelligence officers do not rule out that some of the militants now belong to official Russian Ministry of Defense forces or other private military companies. Many Wagnerians know this front line. In addition, they know the tactics of the Ukrainian Defense Forces, because they have already fought in this area in the winter, British intelligence officers emphasize.
Блядь, да... Пацаны, пиз... зліва будинок!
The fragmented deployment of former Wagner PMC members in any part of the front line is unlikely to have a significant strategic or even local impact on the battlefield in Ukraine.